Okay, so let's talk about a huge new move from OpenAI. The company that gave us ChatGPT. They're not just building AI anymore. Now they're building a whole new way to find and land a job. And in the process, they're picking a fight with one of the biggest names in the game. Let's get into it. And make no mistake, this is way more than just another app launch. What we're seeing is a fundamental challenge to how careers get built, how talent gets discovered. AI is stepping right into the middle of the job market, and it's about to shake things up. So you've got this classic showdown, right? In one corner, you have the reigning champ, LinkedIn, the massive professional network owned by Microsoft. And in the other corner, the AI pioneer, OpenAI, coming in with a totally new skills-first approach. This is the central conflict we're going to unpack. So when did this all kick off? Well, you can circle September 4th, 2025 on your calendar. That was the day OpenAI officially threw its hat in the ring and announced it was getting into the professional hiring game, a direct shot across the bow of the industry giants. But what is this thing really? It's not just another job board where you search for keywords. No, OpenAI is promising to use its powerful AI models to understand what you can actually do. It's moving way beyond the basic keyword matching we're all used to, aiming for a much, much smarter match between your skills and the right opportunity. And hey, this isn't all happening tomorrow. OpenAI's laid out a pretty clear roadmap for us. Right now, we're in the announcement and early partner phase. Then, by the end of 2025, they're going to start piloting their new certifications. The whole jobs platform itself, that's slated to go live around the middle of 2026. But here's the really clever part. To get what they're doing, you have to look beyond just the job platform. See, OpenAI isn't just building a product, they're building an entire ecosystem, a whole pipeline designed to take you from learning a skill all the way to getting hired. Their whole strategy boils down to the super simple but really powerful three-step process. First, you learn. They're offering free courses on AI skills through their own OpenAI Academy. Step 2, you certify. You prove what you've learned by earning an official credential. And then finally, you get hired. That certification becomes your ticket to getting matched with employers on their platform. It's a complete end-to-end system. And you might be thinking, okay, cool idea, but is anyone actually using it? Well, you bet they are. And the list of early partners is, well, it's pretty heavy hitting. We're talking giants like Walmart and Accenture, top-tier consulting firms like BCG, and even government groups. Having these names on board from day one gives this whole thing a ton of credibility. And if you thought those partners were a big deal, get a load of their ambition. OpenAI's goal is to certify 10 million Americans by 2030. Let that sink in. This is not some small side project. They are aiming to fundamentally change the American workforce. Okay, so that's the what. Now for the big question, so what? What does all this actually mean? For you, for me, for employers, for the entire hiring landscape? If you're out there looking for a job, listen up, because this could be a massive game changer. Just imagine a world where what you can do is more important than how perfectly you format your resume. This could blow the doors open for people from different backgrounds, giving them a way to prove they have the skills. And with all the learning content being free, that just makes it easier for everyone to get in the game. And what about the companies doing the hiring? Oh, the potential benefits for them are huge. AI matching could slash the time it takes to find the right person. It could uncover those hidden gems, the amazing candidates who get missed by traditional keyword filters. On top of that, it gives companies a standard way to get their whole teams skilled up in AI. Okay, now here's where the plot gets really interesting. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. OpenAI is going head-to-head with LinkedIn. Who owns LinkedIn? Microsoft. And who is OpenAI's biggest financial backer? You guessed it, Microsoft. This creates this incredibly complicated, kind of tense dynamic between two of the most powerful players in tech today. But a plan this big, this disruptive, it's never that simple, right? Trying to upend an entire industry brings up some pretty serious questions that OpenAI is absolutely going to have to answer. So you have to ask, what are the potential traps here? As we hand over more of the hiring process to an AI, what could possibly go wrong? Well, there are some pretty significant hurdles. First up, bias. How do you make sure the AI isn't discriminating against certain groups? That's huge. Then there's data and privacy. What happens to all your personal info and chat history? And what if everyone gets one of these certifications? Does it become meaningless? And finally, what's the appeal process? What happens when a person or a company says, hey, this AI match is wrong? These are the tough nuts they really need to crack.
So, as this whole thing plays out over the next couple of years, there are a few key things we should all keep our eyes on to see whether this grand experiment is actually working.
I think it really boils down to four key things you gotta watch. First, the details of the certification itself. What's it gonna cost? How will they stop people from cheating? Second, the tools for employers. How easily can companies plug this into the systems they already have? Third, we need to see some real success stories, especially from smaller businesses and government. And finally, the big one. How is LinkedIn going to respond? You know they're not just going to sit there and watch this happen. Which leaves us with the one big question that kind of hangs over all of this. In an age where AI might be the new gatekeeper to getting a job, will that piece of paper that's defined our careers for 100 years, the resume, finally become a thing of the past? We'll have to wait and see.